You know that one game you've always wanted to play? That game you once watched a Let's Player play a long time ago. And you were like, I want to play that game. I so want to play the game. And then you forget about it. And over the years, you become a Let's Player. And for the longest time, there was always a game that you wanted to play that was on the tip of your tongue, on the tip of your head as it were. And you're like, what was it? What was the game? It drives you crazy as you play games. You're just trying to remember what it's called. And then one day, it appears in your feed. It just magically appears. Just pops up like, hey, I'm here. For me, that's what happened. For me, it was Alan Wake. I first watched Alan Wake being played by the Rad Brad. We all remember? Back in the day. Back when Rad Brad was a lot more different than he is now. Like, he's fine now. He was fun. But Alan Wake now has come out after 11 years, guys. 11 years. That's as old as my channel. Well, my channel's probably like 12 years old now, but, you know. It's been 11 years since Alan Wake first came out. And it just got remastered last week. I played Alan Wake on stream on my Twitch. If you haven't gone there, it's twitch.philofhatsandgames. You should come by and it's a great time. Alan Wake is a story about, well, Alan Wake. You play the guy. Take it! That's Alan Wake. He's fabulous. And a bit grumpy. Alan Wake is on vacation. He has terrible writer's block. I can't English. I still can't English. I understand. I'm a writer too. I've had writer's block. It's not fun. But he's on vacation. He just wants to get away from everything. But unfortunately, no matter where it seems that Alan Wake goes, he's haunted by the fact that he's a writer. And it really, really, really grinds his gears. Alan Wake is just tired of the fame. He's tired of the glory. He just wants to be left alone. Alan Wake has come, of course, to this place with his wife. His wonderful wife who supports him and helps him out, and she's wonderful. They go to this place called Bright Springs, and that basically is the start of Alan Wake's adventure in the story. The rest of the story is basically if you took Inkheart and turned it into a horror novel, along with The Secret of the Dark is Rising. Put those two books together, you get Alan Wake, basically. If you don't know what those two books are, you should read them. Here are the graphics, for those that are curious. I was again playing this in Windows. This game does have DLSS, which is pretty interesting. Resolution 100, VSync off, again, because who needs that? HUD is enabled. FOV, you can change the FOV up or down. Brightness, you can turn up. Motion blur, yes. Full grain, yes. And then there's the advanced options. Advanced options, you can turn up the graphics quality. You have your TAA, your FXAA, your MSAA, astrophic filtering, your shadow quality, your volumetric light quality, your terrain quality, and draw distance. I turned all of this stuff up. The weird thing about this game is that it turned it down on me twice. I don't know why, but it did. First off, I'm not going to spoil the game as a whole. I'm just going to give you an overall of the game, like I did with Unsound Mind. And the first thing I want to mention about Alan Wake is that it has a much better sense of direction than Unsound Mind does. And that makes me happy. Story is the entire game, really. And of course, there's also the gameplay, where you point and shoot, point and shoot, point and shoot, point and shoot, point and shoot. There's a lot of pointing and shooting in this game. The only problem with this game is the stamina. Alan Wake suffers from what many horror game protagonists suffer with, and that is lack of cardio. It's a common trope in horror games. For some horror games, it works and it increases the urgency factor. The fact that you want to get away from whatever's chasing you, and sometimes it's extremely irritating. In this game, for me, it was extremely irritating. Now the graphics. As you can see, the graphics in this game are freaking gorgeous. This game is a remaster, and it feels like you're there. You're actually there, and there aren't many games that will do that to you, where you feel like you're actually there. There are a few games that come to my mind when I think about places where you feel like you're there. BioShock would be one of them. Half-Life would be another. And now I want to mention my two favorite characters in the entire game. Thor and Odin, or Odin and Thor. These two are the best characters in this game. They are hilarious. They are great to be around, and they're just a fun time to listen to. They were originally played by real life rock stars, and I don't know if they put the same audio in this game from the original game, but if they did, props to the people for keeping those people's original voices, because this game wouldn't be this game without those two. One last thing I forgot to mention, you do pick up notes through this game. And there are also the televisions that you have to watch. Either it's Allan talking to himself, or it's a TV show that I actually think is quite cool, like The Twilight Zone. These little things in this game make you engrossed in the game all the more. It's incredible. So that's it. That's really it. You should go play this game. It's an awesome game. Leave a like and subscribe because there's always room for more. See you next video. Bye-bye. Here's a second reminder to subscribe.